Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If it's your first time here, my name is Kostas Lazanis. I recently purchased a Catalina 22 sailboat, and today I am in the process of refinishing all of the wood on the boat. All of these wood products that you see on the table here have already been hit with the Varathane pre-stain wood conditioner. I let that dry overnight, and then I just hit it with the Miniwax Natural 209 wood finish. Knock off all of this wood filler. I'm gonna run it with some 120 grit on my orbital sander, and that should blend everything in really nicely, and we can get to using that pre-stain and stain so we can match the other pieces that have already been done. You can see where the wood filler just came in and did its job. It's not perfect. Like right here, you can still see some damaged wood there, but it did a miraculous job. For dust removal, I'm gonna wipe this thing down with mineral spirits, see if that can't wipe off some of the dust particles off this wood, and I'm gonna bring it inside the garage in the shade, and we'll start applying that stain to it. Okay, we're not gonna be going back to the boat today to install these. That's gonna be on a future video, because I am daily vlogging, so you're gonna see a new video from my channel every single day, and it's not going to be always boat stuff, but I decided that I'm going to make a Catalina 22 playlist for all of my sailing enthusiasts. You can go back and watch all of those videos if this somehow ends up on your For You page. The purpose of this pre-stain wood conditioner is to allow the stain to go on evenly and not splotchy. Sometimes when the wood's this old, it'll absorb the stain differently in different areas. So by applying this, it kind of pre-seals a little bit of the wood so the stain doesn't go in as deep. It sounds counterintuitive, but apparently that's the best thing for the wood. We are now on the final leg of our teak restoration journey, the varnish. All of the hard work has been done. Now it's time to see the fruits of our labor. I am going to walk you through how I'm going to do this. I have my pieces just off camera right here, and they have been baking in the hot Texas sun. All of that nice stain has settled in there, and they are looking beautiful. I did purchase some tack cloths, which is basically like a cheesecloth with a little bit of adhesive to it, and that's going to grab any little bit of loose grass that was sitting outside or dust and all those things left over. I'm going to apply the varnish with a foam brush, and I am going to try and expedite things by using these called painter's tripod. Essentially a way to lay down the varnish on one side, maybe let it set for like an hour or two, varnish the other side, and flip it and let it rest on these little points here. They're gonna probably make a little imprint, and it won't be perfect, but it's gonna double the speed of this varnishing process, and so I can get these hatch covers back on the companionway of my new sailboat. A few pro tips on the varnishing. If you do a little 10% of mineral spirits mixed in with the first two coats of the varnish, it's gonna give it a little bit more of a bite and sink in deeper into the wood and really aggressively grab on. And then on top of that, if you just do the regular full-blown varnish for your third and fourth coats, it's gonna be a better result.
Okay, let's get to varnishing. The varnish that I'm using for these pieces of teak is the Pettit Flagship High Build Varnish. It features 6 times more UV inhibitors, which in turn offers the best protection against the sun's damaging rays. A special blend of phenolic and alkyd resins combined with tung and linseed oils offer excellent performance and a warm, light amber hue. Flagship High Build Varnish contains an ultraviolet light filter in conjunction with a light stabilizer to screen the sun's damaging rays for a longer life. Flagship High Build Varnish has the highest build and film depth per coat, as well as excellent abrasion resistance and a high gloss finish. It's been a full day and a half. Had to drop off my daughter at school this morning, and I am gonna get to working on this second coat of varnish. Oh, I think I messed up. I got a little too happy with the varnish. Even though I said thin coats, I just couldn't help myself. I was laying it on thick. It was looking so good and voluptuous, and I think I paid for it. I have all of these like thick, gunky, like syrupy pockets of varnish, and I'm just like, did I ruin this whole thing? I go to sanding, use a little bit of 320 or 400, I forget what I used, to start just kind of scraping it. Majority of it sands perfectly, but especially like in the corners where it piled up, the hand sanding just wasn't doing it. So I did get the orbital sander, and I did put, I think, a 320 or a 400 on the orbital sander on the lowest setting, and just gave it a little back and forth with the orbital sander. I don't think that's recommended, but I assumed that it would be better to get that excess varnish off than leave it on there and go over it. I wiped all the wood off with a cloth napkin. Then I went over it with a tack rag and got as much of the dust off as I possibly could. And I went to work on the second varnish, and to my eyes, it looks like I was able to coat over everything with the second varnish. This time I did make sure I went extra thin on the coats of varnish because I don't want to mess it up again. We're gonna end the video here. I still have to do 3 more coats of varnish, but I hope that this entire process brought some knowledge and some insight into how to varnish for your Catalina 22 sailboat or whatever varnishing project that you have. I think that I'm gonna be pretty happy with the results, and it's definitely an improvement from how they looked whenever I got them. See you guys in the next video.